Good morning on this lovely Thursday, February the 9th, 2023. In this video, we are going to be first talking about our weakened storm system growing concerns with a wintry mix, some strong winds, and more, which is on the bottom most left side of the screen. Number two, we are going to be watching our next week storm system for big impacts across the northern plains and the Great Lakes with heavy snowfall, strong winds, and yes, severe weather looks also possible, followed by wild warmth back east with cold weather back west. So first things first, we're taking a look at your current air temperatures as of 6 in the morning Pacific time, 9 in the morning Eastern time, and that weather system that is moving into the Great Lakes right now really affecting really warm temperatures this morning. So Kentucky, you're waking up to 63 degrees. If you're in Ohio, Indiana, temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, and temperatures further south like Miami, Florida, already in the mid 70s thanks to that warmer air coming in out of the south, but it's not warm everywhere else. If you go across the high plains, the northern tier of the United States, you're waking up to temperatures right around freezing, with temperatures in the mountains like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, also for Utah and Nevada. Temperatures in the single digits with some isolated areas like here, -4 degrees in near the Twin Falls of Idaho. So really cold temperatures this morning. So make sure you allow some extra time to defrost your windshield. As soon as the sun comes out, it should warm up a lot nicer, especially for the high plains and for the northern tier of the United States, since that cold air is not really rich coming in out of the north, like from Hudson Bay, but really cold up here in Canada. Your 24-hour temperature change is like so. Much colder than it was 24 hours ago. If you are in eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, if you're in Oklahoma, 7 to 10 degrees colder than it was 24 hours ago. Look at this. For Indiana, for Ohio, for Kentucky, for West Virginia, and say portions there of Chicago and Illinois, temperatures are 15 to 30 degrees warmer than they were 24 hours ago. All thanks again to the strong winds, and we're getting that warm air advection from the south. So that is really keeping temperatures up this morning to start your day. And then, of course, 10 to 15 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago for portions of Kansas, Nebraska, as well as the Dakotas, and that's gonna carry over into today. So today will be a nice mild day here for the high plains once that sun heats up the ground. And then, of course, 10 to 15 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago in Montana and Idaho, including for Wyoming, and nearly the same if you're across the west. Winds have been a pretty big deal, especially for Indiana, where we are getting already reports of wind gusts between 35 to 45 miles an hour, with a peak gust already of 50 miles an hour in Indianapolis. Also for southern Illinois, you're seeing wind gusts between 40 and 50 miles an hour, with wind gusts between 40 to 50 miles an hour across the Dakotas, including for Nebraska. If you are in Kansas and Colorado, you're seeing some pretty intense winds this morning, part of that weather system. And in fact, these winds right now are coming in out of the southerly direction, which is going to help warm you guys up really nicely today. Actually, yeah, those are coming in. Actually, no, not southerly, more out of the northwest. Sorry if I got that wrong. So here's the current look at your weather alerts as of about 9:38 this morning for Eastern time. And there is right now high wind warnings out for Indiana, for Ohio. Wind advisories are out already for Tennessee, Kentucky. So some intense winds today with gusts between 45 to 60 miles an hour across the region. So power outages, down trees are anticipated today as this weather system spirals its way into the Great Lakes and deepens a little further. We got winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories because there could be up to a foot of snow or more in portions of northeastern and eastern Iowa. So here's a look at your daytime highs today. Remember how I was telling you all the temperatures are going to warm up fairly nicely today. we're talking about temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, especially over Kansas and portions of Nebraska. Might be a little hard to warm things up here to the north thanks to that a little surge of cold air, but gonna still warm up nevertheless. Temperatures they're expecting to be in the mid to upper 20s, maybe some low 30s. But look at this, further south, across the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, and the deep south, including for Florida, temperatures in the 80s. So really nice, mild temperatures are anticipated as warmer air builds in. That ridge of high pressure kind of keeps you guys from getting too cold, right? And then for southern Texas in the 70s. But look at this. Going to struggle to warm up if you are in Colorado and say for Wyoming, where temperatures there are expected to only warm up to about the mid-20s and the upper teens, 60s and 70s across the west. If you haven't already, if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button to help show your awesome support for the work that I do. So now, we're going to be going deeper into this because we got a few things to talk about. The first and foremost is this system that is moving into the Great Lakes. Going to cause more problems this morning into the afternoon hours. Strong winds are a sure bet. Also, moderate to heavy snowfall that is anticipated. Pressure is 998 millibars in this forecast, and this is for 1 p.m. on Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. There's your warm front, there's your cold front. Let's go forward all the way into, say, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. That low moves into Michigan and moves into southern Canada like Ontario and Quebec, and that's going to lead to, again, strong southwesterly winds out of that direction because of this system. And then this moves off to the east out of the United States by 7 in the morning Eastern Standard Time for your Friday, February the 10th. But don't let your guard down. There's another system that's going to be developing. And in this time, it is going to be for the southeast. It is going to be for the mid-Atlantic coast. And so on the GFS model here for February the 11th at 7 a.m., it is painting a pretty nice picture at showing some rain, some strong winds. Not to mention there's some showers and some thunderstorms that are anticipated for California, part of another system that is going to drop southward across our region. But really, the big focus will be here over Georgia, the Carolinas, because that system is going to be developing, especially Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moderate to heavy rainfall is anticipated as that low deepens. Look to the north. Look at that gradient. That's a tight pressure gradient between the high to the north and the low to the south, and that gradient gets a little tighter. So by Sunday morning, you're going to be waking up to some showers, maybe some snow for the higher elevations. If we can get enough dynamic cooling, that will be a sure thing to see. Also, 1,004 millibars right along the coast there, and that surface low will continue to deepen by the time we go into Monday morning, February the 13th at 7 in the morning. All right, but now, that system is moving out, right? We understand how that's going to play out, right? The good news is there's a break expected for Monday morning, but don't let your guard down because by Tuesday morning at 7 in the morning for February the 14th, there is going to be another system that is going to be developing. This is a little bit of a concern here because this could produce quite a bit of severe weather, strong winds, and maybe some hail out of these storms. And of course, tornadoes and stuff. So by 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tuesday, February the 14th, you can see the curlicue-shaped storm there. Maybe, again, some severe weather for the deep south here within this low-pressure regime. That moves out pretty quickly, though. That's not going to be as big of a concern like the current system. That's nevertheless going to cause some issues. All right, it's going to be the next one after that. So by Wednesday morning, February the 15th, that moves into the Great Lakes. And by 7 p.m. Wednesday, it moves into the Northeast. But look at what we got here. We got our little guy waiting up across the high plains. And so by 7 in the morning Thursday, we have another system that could develop here. And this one looks very strong, perhaps something that we have not seen in quite some time. So for portions here of Nebraska and Kansas, really intense snowfall potentially. Again, there is some uncertainty because this could go further south. As you know, even so it says high confidence, the overall pattern that allows this looks to be high, but exact timing and impacts right now yield probably a low to medium on the confidence scale. So for like Tennessee, you could see some moderate to heavy rainfall and some severe weather. And look at this system really gets going by Thursday night, February the 16th here. Maybe some severe weather here all the way from Kentucky into Tennessee into the Mississippi, Alabama area to the north. That's where you got the snowfall. This system looks to be very strong and a big problem. So that's going to be one of our headlines. Again, that I've talked about in this video with that system by the middle of the next week. That could be really a big deal. Okay, and then that moves out of the area by the time we go into Friday at the end of next week, February the 17th. The European model is as is. It's a little bit more confident in the same overall scenario, so let's kind of take a look at that. So this is for Thursday, February the 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's our system. Just going to fast forward this because look at what we got here. Over Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama, and Florida. That system develops by the weekend, so by 7 p.m. on Saturday, by 7 in the morning on Sunday, February the 12th, we got snow over Tennessee, maybe a mix of rain and snow there further south, like northern Georgia and northern Alabama. And then, of course, there is the heavy rain and strong winds. Look at that surface low, really going to deepen a little bit. So by 7 p.m. on Sunday, snow showers do linger across portions of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia in itself, with the snow over to the Appalachians, and that moves out. No snow or any impacts are anticipated for the Northeast as far as it looks right now. So by Tuesday, there's your system that we talked about. Look how strong this is. This actually has snow with it over Iowa, as well as further south. We have intense rainfall and severe weather conditions that could be a problem over Alabama and Mississippi into Georgia. Then that system moves out pretty quickly, followed by a stronger system. This one, a much bigger deal. This is for Thursday, 7 a.m., February the 16th, and that moves into the Great Lakes there. Look how intense that is. Really strong system that is anticipated. So maximum temperatures for tomorrow, now that we talked about our few systems that are anticipated, it's going to be warming up pretty nicely for your daytime highs, okay? So we can see here, of course, temperatures in the 70s and 80s, and that will continue all the way into, Monday next week. So for day 5, we're expecting to see temperatures moderating, some in the mid to upper 50s, some low to mid 60s further south you go, with temperatures in the 60s across California and portions of Arizona. Really quickly, our 6 to 10 day Climate Prediction Center outlook does call for above average temperatures. That's what kind of the headlines are with this video, is that it's going to be warmer than normal back east across the Great Lakes, the southeast, including for the deep south, while it's going to remain colder than average, likely for California, for Washington, Oregon, the Four Corners, Nevada, including for Wyoming, Montana. If you're in Idaho, you're going to see a likelihood of below average temperatures for the 6 to 10 day. And then the 8 to 14 day forecast calls for below average temperatures also for the west, with above average temperatures likely for the east. Really? Winter? Not going to come back anytime soon. That's what the trends are showing. So yeah, I would almost say we're almost done with winter. Well, in meteorological sense, we're getting there, less than a month away. But in astronautical terms, we have a little more than a month to go. All right, now before I do in the video, I really hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the detail and the style that I present to you all. We wanted to review the weekend storm. Is growing concerns. That's what we looked at across the southeast. Maybe some snow, some slushy mixes in there with some strong winds. Okay, and then we were looking at that storm for next week that can bring a lot of snow for the northern tier, strong winds, and of course, bigger impacts for the deep south, including flooding and severe weather. That is a possibility. And then, of course, we did talk about our warm up that is anticipated across much of the east throughout today into the next several days. Not much changes there, with below average temperatures that are anticipated for the west. So I sure hope this video helped you out a lot. If it did, be sure you subscribe, share, and like, and I'll be sure to get back to you with more weather content tomorrow as we move forward with more of these storm systems as they develop over the next couple of weeks. That's going to do it. Thank you all for watching.